The hallway was silent, the kind of silence that presses in on your ears and makes every small sound echo. It was late, and the world outside seemed to have paused, leaving only the hum of distant city lights. I stood there, staring at 3 elevator doors, 2 promising escape, one with a glaring out-of-order sign that seemed almost accusatory in the dim light. The air smelled like dust and old memories, as if the building itself was holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. I pressed the down button, its orange glow the only sign of life in the quiet lobby. Waiting felt endless, each second stretching out longer than the last. Somewhere a soft piano melody played, oddly soothing, as if trying to calm the nerves of everyone waiting in the building. Finally, a ding. The middle elevator arrived, its doors sliding open with a gentle sigh. The doors revealed a packed crowd, silent and still, each person lost in their own thoughts, barely acknowledging one another. I squeezed in, wedged between strangers, the air thick with perfume, coffee, and the faint scent of anxiety. The button panel glowed with destinations. I reached for the first floor, my finger hesitating for a moment before pressing. "Excuse me," I mumbled, pressing the button, my voice barely audible over the soft music and the shuffling of feet. The elevator lurched, beginning its slow descent, and everyone swayed in unison, a silent choreography of strangers. No one spoke. Everyone stared ahead, lost in the music, eyes fixed on the glowing numbers above the door. I wondered if I should have taken the stairs, imagining the echo of my footsteps in the empty stairwell. But 9 floors? Not a chance. The thought alone made my legs ache. The ride felt like drifting in a quiet, crowded capsule, suspended between floors and moments. I counted the floors as we passed, 8, 7, 6, each number a small victory on the way down. The only sound was the hum of machinery and that gentle piano tune, both oddly comforting and unnerving at once. I tried to relax, but something about the silence felt unnatural, as if everyone was waiting for something to break the spell. The elevator kept moving down, 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 the journey feeling longer than it should have. I waited for the lobby, hoping for fresh air, freedom, and the relief of finally stepping out into the world again. The elevator floated downward, its gentle hum filling the small enclosed space. The air was thick with the quiet anticipation of strangers sharing a journey, each person lost in their own thoughts. Numbers blinked steadily above the door, marking our slow descent floor by floor, a silent countdown to our destinations. Everyone was still, one woman reading, her eyes never leaving the page, as if the world outside the book didn't exist. A man stared at his shoes, shifting his weight from foot to foot, perhaps counting the seconds until he could step out. At the 5th floor, the doors opened with a soft chime, and a brief pause filled the air. A man with a friendly smile squeezed in, unfazed by the crowd, as if he'd done this 100 times before. "Cozy in here, isn't it?" he joked, breaking the silence and drawing a few quiet chuckles from the group. I managed a smile. "Yeah, a little," I replied, feeling the tension ease just a bit. He grinned wider. "It's always a mystery which elevator you'll get. Sometimes a party, sometimes a ghost town. Today it's a full house." The doors closed again, sealing us in together, and the ride resumed its gentle descent. The music seemed brighter with his presence, a cheerful tune that made the space feel less confined. We passed the 4th, then the 3rd floor, the numbers above glowing softly as we descended. He hummed along, whispering, "I love this song," his voice barely above the music, but somehow comforting. I nodded, realizing the tune was oddly comforting, a small moment of connection in a crowded space. Just one more floor to go. The lobby was close. I felt anticipation, almost there. The elevator slowed and everyone seemed to ready themselves for the world outside. The doors prepared to open, and for a moment we were all in it together, strangers sharing a brief crowded ride. "What floor?" the man asked quietly. "The lobby," I replied, "just heading out." "Me too," he said. "I'm Leo." We shook hands, awkward in the cramped space. It was strange making a friend here. Leo's energy made the elevator feel less claustrophobic. The number 2 lit up, almost there. "Ready for the great outdoors?" Leo grinned. "Ready as I'll ever be," I said, relieved. The door slid open, but the lobby was dark, not bright. The air was musty, wrong. The music was the only normal thing. Leo's smile faded as he peered into the gloom. "What's going on?" he whispered. My heart pounded. This wasn't the lobby I expected. As my eyes adjusted to the dim light, I saw them, figures shuffling in the lobby, their movements slow and unnatural, as if they were barely alive. Their eyes were cloudy, mouths slack, faces twisted in a way that sent a chill down my spine. Zombies. Real, actual zombies right in front of us. The cheerful elevator music clashed horribly with the horror outside, its upbeat tune now sounding almost mocking in the face of danger. Leo grabbed my arm, his grip tight and trembling, panic written all over his face.
"What are they?"
he stammered, voice barely above a whisper as if speaking too loudly might draw them closer. "Zombies," I whispered back, barely believing the word as it left my lips. It felt unreal, like a nightmare I couldn't wake from. One of them shuffled closer, dragging its feet across the lobby floor, its gaze fixed on us with a hunger that made my skin crawl. The elevator doors stayed open, no escape, trapping us in a moment of terror as the lobby seemed to close in. Then I noticed, some of the other passengers' eyes were cloudy too, their faces eerily blank as if they were already lost. The elevator was full of zombies, and we were surrounded, trapped between the living and the dead. The ride down had been a trap, luring us straight into the heart of danger without warning. The lobby zombie reached for us, its hand outstretched, fingers twitching with anticipation. Leo and I bolted, pushing past it into the dark lobby. "Run!" Leo shouted, his voice echoing off the marble walls. We dodged the shuffling horde, feet pounding on the cold marble, hearts racing as we weaved through the crowd of the undead. Behind us, groans rose as they followed, the sound growing louder with every desperate step we took. The gentle ride had become a nightmare, the safety of the elevator now a distant memory. We ran, desperate for the exit, every instinct screaming at us to move faster. The chase was on and there was no turning back. We burst onto the street, sunlight blinding after the darkness. Zombies spilled out behind us, chaos erupting. People screamed, cars swerved. Leo and I kept running, hearts racing. The city felt like a trap. Suddenly sirens wailed. Police cars screeched to a halt, forming a barrier. Officers calmly aimed strange devices at the zombies. Beams of light froze the creatures, making them fade away. The street cleared, the threat gone. Leo and I caught our breath, stunned. An officer approached, gentle-eyed. "You two all right?" she asked. We nodded, speechless. The piano music from the elevator echoed in my mind.